And just like that, it's the end of September, Gene. Tuesday, September 30th. We're a little today, 10:06, but that's a wrap on September. And you have quite the show this morning.
You know, Alison, this is one of those days. The news is like a fire hose today. I mean, where do you want to begin? We might be on the verge of peace in the Middle East. The president, as you and I speak, is addressing 900 generals and admirals.
Or Hegseth is. Oh, yes,
right?
no, the president piped in, right?
He's on now. Hegseth is also going to address him. It's just on and on. Troops in Portland, ICE in Chicago, maybe coming to New Orleans. And then locally, we've got the bridge story still percolating. And I spoke to the guy who runs the Audrain Auto Show, and he's also the restaurant man from Newport. So you asked me, wherever you want to start, we're ready to roll here.
Washington Bridge. Yeah. Let's start with the Washington Bridge. The report is out. It's public. The engineering report blames years of negligence. Says the problem should have been noticed before and fixed before the abrupt closure in December of 2023. So we're coming up on 2 years now. So that pushes it out. DOT initially blaming a sudden event on those support rods that they broke somehow like that. The governor hired an engineering company to conduct an audit days after the closure, he says. The report was finished back in April. And then the governor held the report back. I mean, it depends on who you ask. He's going to deny that. So let's listen to the governor first, and let's get right to the attorney general with you. So first, the governor, Dan.
Story. I commissioned the report. I was willing to release the report, and I was instructed not to release the report by the attorneys that were pursuing parties that we believe should be held accountable so the taxpayers could recover money.
Okay, so that's his side of the story. You and I had lunch yesterday. We talked about the attorney general's role, if in any, in this potential leak, if you will.
Okay.
Where did he pick up this morning?
Well, I had the attorney general on the radio this morning. Okay, the governor is correct. He did commission that report. This is the forensic audit that was started after the bridge was near collapse. He was instructed by the attorneys, you can't release that, reporters can't see it. It's part of the case. So it's not like it was hidden. We all know it exists and where it was. It was in the court record. It was leaked. It was leaked a couple of days ago to a website called What's Up Rhode Island, page by page. And then Peter Neroni, the attorney general, said, rather than call me every day to see if this is correct, is this right? I just put the whole thing up on the website. He said, now the judge may be mad at me for doing that. I'll take my chances. But he said the report wasn't hidden. The report was kept confidential because that's the way you win a court case. He also said the other side may have leaked it, meaning either of several defendants who the state is suing, or anyone in between, or any of 100 hands that had their hands on it. Now, I said, well, some people suspect you, Mr. Attorney General, of leaking it for political gain. You don't like the governor, even though technically he's still your client, or the state is the Attorney General's client right now. And he absolutely said, absolutely not. And if I was going to leak it, I wouldn't leak it to What's Up Rhode Island, because they don't like me and I don't like that website. So he said, Alison, the quote was, I swear on my children, we did not leak. My side did not leak it. Okay. Now, here's a little more. So the report wasn't hidden. We know where the report is. We know why it wasn't released. Now that the report is out, we know that the state has dirty hands.
Right.
No. Oh, really? Really? All along, we're going to know the state has some negligence in this. In fact, the attorney general told me months ago, listen, in the end, the judge is probably going to apportion blame. The state will have some of it. The inspectors that the state hired will have part of it. And so will the companies that the state hired to do the work prior to this. Everybody's going to share the blame. So
but what about when the governor
comes no news here.
A day of reckoning. So a lot of people feel like he hasn't been forthcoming, though. Well, you listen to talk radio, and that's what you're going to hear.
Well, you listen. Depends on the show. Every show is different. The day of reckoning. I asked the governor last week, do you regret using that term? because everybody now uses it against you. The governor said, I do regret using that term, the day of reckoning. The day of reckoning will come after the court case. And after the court case, that's when the day of reckoning is going to come. Now, that may not satisfy a lot of people. Everybody's angry over this. A lot of people are on this narrative. Let's fire Peter Alviti. Let's do this. But the truth is, the attorney general who's handling the case said the report wasn't hidden. The report was leaked. I confirmed it. And it's no surprise that the state screwed up here. Now, there's a timeline that goes back to Governor Raimondo.
So I think that's the news,
and
right?
Other DOT directors. To what extent did the state screw up?
And how far back?
And how far back? And to what extent did the inspectors the state hired screw up? And the companies that were supposed to do the repairs screw up? I remember distinctly Peter Alviti saying maybe the day after the bridge story broke, we thought we had another year to go before we had to address these critical concerns. The inspectors told us we had another year. Turns out they didn't. Okay, so this is a little bit of the story.
This is not good going into the governor's race for McKee. Helena Folks is jumping all over this. She's accessible, of course, right now. She wants to talk about it. Listen, Gene, you know how politics is too. A lot of it's perception. A lot of people feel like they've been lied to, regardless.
Yeah.
So they're angry. It goes back to like, oh, it takes me, 45 minutes to get over the bridge. And the governor's like, no, it doesn't. Yes, it does. It's all just back and forth. It's his perception. And now just pile it on. That's what it feels like. Regardless of who leaked it, how it leaked, the report is the report. And it looks like the state knew something was wrong before they said they did. That's how people feel.
You're not going to change that. There are people clamoring for Peter Alviti's head. They want him fired. They want him fired, including Helena Folks. Listen, they handed this to her on a plate. What do you want to fault her for going after Peter Alviti? It's a target.
If I was,
she's going after him. But I think if you want to fully understand the story, the report wasn't hidden. We know where the report was. The report was leaked after the discovery process. And if you think it's news that the state screwed up in some part over the course of years, it's not news.
No, I know, but I think a lot of people feel like they've been lied to about the timeline, that the bridge probably should have been dealt with earlier, regardless of the leak and when it came out. The timeline is the timeline, and the governor's kind of like, we just found out, and that's where people are getting pretty upset.
Well, the governor, I think the governor just said, I wasn't the one to decide not to release the report. It was on the advice of my lawyers, so we're not going to fault him for following.
Right, but the guts of the dates in the report about when people knew what is what people seem to be hung up on.
Oh, there's no question. We all want to know. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've asked Alviti, the governor. I've asked them all. I want to read the report. I want to read the report. Well, you can't. Okay. Well, it's tied up in court. You can't read it. Okay. Well, now go read it. But when you read it, Alison, the notion that the state has dirty hands, is that surprising anybody?
No, but people want to do that sooner rather than later. They want somebody to own up to it, right? Good luck to that.
Well, they want a head.
Yes.
I understand.
So does the governor, right?
They may get it. They may get it. The latest University of New Hampshire poll shows her, 19 points ahead of him?
Yeah. It'll be interesting how the unions sway on this. Our producer, Dan's texting us. Are we going to toss to the Attorney General?
Yes, okay.
Dan, let's do that.
Attorney General on with me this morning on WPRO talking about the leaked report that has now been confirmed. It's up on the website. This is the report we're all talking about. Go ahead and play Attorney General Nerona.
It was produced in discovery, not by us, but by the company who prepared it. And typically, materials produced in discovery are not made part of the public record. Why? Because there's a lot of documents in this case, tens of thousands of documents. And before a trial, we have to pick a jury in advance of that trial. You don't want the case tried in the press. I mean, it just makes it harder to pick a jury, if nothing else. And there's going to be a lot of expert reports in this case, Gene. This is one of them.
Okay.
And it's just, you don't want facts taken out of the overall context, which could implicate a fair result in a high stakes piece of litigation. I mean, that's just good and cautious lawyering.
Okay. But good journalism would be for me to aggressive. I want to see it. That's why I kept saying I want to read it. I want to see it. Okay.
Yeah,
was it hidden?
I get it.
The word hidden has been thrown out. Was it hidden? I
know
it
wasn't hidden, and it wasn't hidden by the governor either. The governor and I don't see the eye on almost anything, but it wasn't hidden. Look, I have a responsibility, as do all the lawyers on the case, first and foremost to the court. I have a license, to practice law. And if nothing else, it's smart of me and the people, more specifically on my team, to comply with court practice and not run afoul of the law and court practice. And so, there are, thousands, hundreds of thousands of civil cases all over the country. There are hundreds of them in my own office, and some of them people pay attention to, some people don't, but we don't post our discovery online for the reasons I've already articulated.
Okay.
Okay, so he's not totally throwing the governor under the bus.
No, and they're not friends.
No.
It's his case to win. But I think you can't underestimate here. Blame will be apportioned.
Yeah.
State, inspectors, companies hired. This report explains where the state screwed up. And
right. And that's the news.
To say that's not news to me. It's not a surprise to me.
It's news in that there's an actual definitive timeline that they knew before they said they knew. That's how people feel. That's the perception out there in the public.
Well, keep in mind, they said, and I'm going to go find this soundbite. I don't know if Dan can help us with that. Week of, maybe day after, the inspectors told us we had a year to go. I'm going to ask Peter Alviti about that on Thursday. That we had a year. We didn't have to address these critical concerns.
I think that's a key point.
I want to hear that again.
And you've got sound on both sides claiming it.
I want to hear it.
This is not going away. Look,
no.
Race, we are a year and a month out. This is all we're going to hear about. It's going to be
probably. Well, as it ramps up, it'll be subject to TV commercials.
Definitely.
So that's coming.
Definitely. Gosh, the governor, I don't envy him right now. He's under a lot of pressure.
Well, listen, if you want to criticize him, I don't know how he's done it messaging. This was on his watch, but it's not of his doing.
Right. It persisted before him. But listen, when you're in politics, you got to get the message out. It's all about communication.
If you're the manager of the baseball team and the team's losing, they fire you.
So the state filed the lawsuit August of last year, if we're just going through where we are now. And the cost to demolish and replace the bridge at this point is now more than $500 million. All right. No weather today because it's perfect.
Yeah, nice.
So I want to get to something else. Let's get, I'm going out of order, Dan. I hope that's okay. The restaurants. That's really interesting to me. Wow. So it's not just about Newport Restaurant Group anymore, is it?
No, there's
another player in town.
This is the guy who runs the Audrain Auto Museum, Nicholas Shorse. He's a wealthy guy, made most of his money, I believe, in Philadelphia. Vacationed in Newport as a child, likes Newport, now lives in Newport. He started the Audrain Auto Museum, and he started the Audrain Concours d'Elegance, the big car show that's starting this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Big show, great show. I'm going to go to it. He's also the guy from Newport who's buying up all the restaurants.
Yeah.
Brick Alley Pub, Flo's Clam Shack, Red Parrot, Vanderbilt, not the Vanderbilt. Yeah, Vanderbilt Viking. Vanderbilt Hotel. Not the Viking, the Vanderbilt.
Sorry. Okay, the Vanderbilt.
Old Canteen, Oldeyville Wieners. So I had him on the radio today, and I said, what else are you buying? Now, he wouldn't give me specifics, but he's buying. He said, I'm buying in Providence, Middletown, Jamestown, and Newport. Wow. So that must have the restaurant industry a buzz. Who's he buying next?
Did we have that soundbite? I'm not sure if we pulled it. I don't think we did. But he wouldn't say?
He wouldn't give me specifics, which I understand. He probably hasn't closed them yet, but he went as far as to say, I'm buying in 4 towns.
Okay. Wow. Dan says we don't have that soundbite. Well, that's news.
Yes, it is.
The hospitality scene is really hopping right now in Rhode Island. It's really interesting. We have a James Beard Award winner.
Yep.
Providence, although she moved. The restaurant's still there. But I mean, we've got a scene going, huh? I feel like we're finally gaining some well-deserved recognition for hospitality in the state. So that's good news, I think.
It is good news. And listen, it's only going to get busier because that World Cup is coming in.
That's right.
Next year. And I had the Liz Tanner, who used to be the Commerce Secretary. She's now heading up Rhode Island's effort to get a piece of this. 7 games are going to be played in Foxborough. And that's the equivalent.
Trump's fighting it.
Well, Trump may pull the plug on all of it because he doesn't like Mayor Wu. But at this point, at least 7 games are scheduled to be played in Foxborough at Gillette, which will be renamed Boston Stadium. And it's my understanding that each game is like a World Series.
Right.
And in the end, listen to this. She said, Alison, on 10 News Conference, 890,000 people are coming to Rhode Island for those 7 games. Now, that's the equivalent of the state's population. So every hotel room, every restaurant is going to be booked for these 7 games. And she thinks it's worth about north of $300 million
Yeah, we reported
for Rhode Island.
30, I think, million.
330.
Hey, let's hope.
If you got a hotel, you got to Airbnb.
Parking lots too.
Yeah, everything.
Everything. So that's interesting. All right, nice get. All right, you do not like the beach? I mean, I know you well, so I know this. I know Diane does, and you have a good reason not to like the beach. Did you see that great white they found?
I did see that. Yeah,
No, thank you.
I like to look at the beach. I like to sit on the beach. I'd like a house on the beach. I'm just not a person to sunbathe on the beach.
I don't want to swim with that.
I don't like that.
Right
And
now.
yeah, I don't like this.
Yeah, actually, the guys who run the Shark Institute, John Dodd, he's really great. Those license plates, by the way, I think they were the most successful vanity plates of all time.
They're very cool.
Or charity plates, I should say. So yeah, they sold out. They are all over this exploration. So that's a cage that they set up, and they put a GoPro down there. And I don't think it was down there for very long. Here's a quick soundbite from him.
That we put bait in, and then we attach a GoPro to it, and we leave it for an hour, and then we come back and pull it up, and we see what it is we were able to video, what we were able to capture.
An hour. It only took an hour for that great white to swim up to it.
Just quickly tell people where exactly this is.
This is near Block Island. That's all I know. It's near Block Island using a baited remote underwater video system, also known as a BRUVS.
We take your word for it. There are sharks out there off Block Island and off Long Island.
Nantucket, Sconset side, they're there. And the warmer water, Christina, Ernie was saying this morning, is probably attracting them down here too, because it's a pretty warm September. So that's kind of interesting. The Atlantic Shark Institute's hoping that they'll be able to see more and that they'll breed more. I don't want them breeding anymore. I mean, they're beautiful to look at, but no thanks.
Well, I mean, they've been around thousands of years before us, so I'm okay. I'm okay with them. I don't intend to go swimming off Block Island anytime soon. And if I'm on a boat, it'll be a good boat.
I'm using the pool in the back. Yes. Okay. This got me this morning. Did you see the AI generated actress?
No, show me.
All right, ready? You tell me if you think this looks real or fake.
That's a completely made up person. That is not a real person.
Completely AI.
Well, you got me. You fooled me.
Me too. She's got her own Instagram page, and supposedly agents are calling the producer of this character to replace human actors. So you can imagine how Hollywood's going with this.
Well, Alison, just between you and me, how long before how long before they do that to us?
Well, then we got a real problem with news.
And you'll have an AR anchor person. And I don't know, do you want Gene? You want Gene with the mustache? You want him in his 30s? You want him in his 50s? What do you want? Take your pick.
I think how acting is different than journalism. People are already, the media, do we trust it? You know where I stand with all this. I mean, you're going to trust AI?
Well, if it's a human feeding this icon or this character that's playing the part of the Anchorman, how do you know?
Entertainment's one thing, news is another. I don't think in Rhode Island people are going to want to see an AI Gene.
That's gonna go on my next contract.
I hate the term fake news.
Yeah,
that is literally fake news at that point, right?
To some degree, it is. So
that is amazing, and they're only getting started. I mean, AI is in its infancy. So imagine. So she has a name. Her name is Tilly. Tilly Norwood. Instagram page, influencer page, everything. I got to tell you, that looks real.
You know, AI, have you ever done this? You go to, what is it, ChatGPT, or it's on Grok. Say, write a poem about Alison Bologna. It will write a poem about Alison Bologna. It'll scan you and write you and write a poem. It's not the best.
It's getting there, though.
It's getting there, and it's a funny exercise. We should do that. Write a poem about Alison Bologna. Bang.
And let's put that on for next week. What I think is really creepy about it, though, is, I mean, there's some amazing things where we can automate stuff. Like, I run a business on the side, so please, I would love to cut my admin in half. However, having said that, the way it speaks to you as if it's your best friend and conversational, and it keeps you moving through the conversation is really something, huh?
Yep.
Also, economically, I've been reading so much about this in the Wall Street Journal and everything. The amount of jobs it's going to generate, though, everybody's worried about it taking jobs. Yes, maybe in certain sectors, but these huge fields that they're building, energy fields. And when it comes to the trades, it's going to be incredible. Oh, he did it.
Oh, look, here's your poem.
I can't read that.
Can you read that? Hold on. Let me.
Okay, Dan.
Hold on. I'll read it for you.
Okay, Jean's going to read it.
Let me
Oh,
see.
no.
In the morning light, this is Alison Bologna, a sonnet or a poem. In the morning light, where headlines bloom, a voice cuts softly through the room. With grace, she tells the world its news, both solemn truths and lighter hues. A journalist with poise and might, she guides the day, she frames the night. Her words are clear, her tone sincere. She brings the distant moments near. Look at this, Alison. All right.
Gosh.
Okay. So it is okay.
This is a twist on my Shri work too, though.
In the fraction of a second, it has scanned everything on the web involving you.
It's amazing.
And your charitable events and your yoga studio. And it has incorporated that in a flash into a poem.
In classroom, shelter, city, street.
This is the infancy of it. Isn't that amazing?
Dan, what did you type in exactly to generate this?
Is he there? Is he on mic?
Wow.
The prompt was write a poem about Alison Bologna.
That was it.
That's
right
it.
There at the top. And it says, sure, here's a poem about Alison Bologna celebrating her work and presence as a journalist and community figure. And that's what it did.
That's deep into the meaning of Shri, meaning light, that we're in schools, on top of just the obvious public stuff. That's
go down a bit. Let's see. Let's keep going. Let's see. In classroom, shelter, city, streets, where need and empathy do meet, you'll find her there. No lights, no fame, just kindness working in her name. You are a big proponent of nonprofits. You spend a lot of money and your time in places like that. Isn't this amazing? If you're stunned,
classroom shelters is where I bring Shri. And Shri in the language of yoga, which is Sanskrita, means light.
So
do you see how they went? They somehow figured a local light. That's what Shri means, and that's what organization.
You want to do one of me, Dan?
Yes, let's do it on Jean. This is amazing, but creepy at the same time.
No,
but it's layered. It's not super superficial. Okay, certainly. See, certainly.
You read. Can you read that one? Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Jean Valicenti, with measured voice and steady gaze, he starts our nights and starts our days. All right, so evening anchor, morning anchor, a seasoned pro, sharp suited, bold, whose every word is crisp and gold. From studio lights to morning drive, he keeps Rhode Island news alive with facts in hands and questions, though. He digs in deep. He calls the bluff. He's just reading from he's not just reading from a sheet. That's totally true. That's you.
Yep.
He walks the beat. Yes, he knows the politics, storms, or local flair. If it's out there, Jean's surely there.
There you go. So this is
no nonsense tone, yes, but heart inside, sure. A civic pride he doesn't hide. He asks the things we need to know and holds the powerful.
Okay.
That took 10 seconds.
No charge for that, by the way.
Wow.
Free.
What do you think? I think that's great. That's great.
It's something. So
that's something.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love this. This is addictive, though. We should do Diane.
Well, you know what it is, Alice. Here's the kids are using this for homework.
Yeah.
The kids use it for homework.
Yeah. Wow. But it's not just superficial, like I was saying. It's not just the surface stuff. That's really kind of incredible.
See, look how I date my
that's
homework.
Weird. That's like worse than Googling.
Gene, you say the kids use it for homework, but the teachers use it to come up with ideas for classroom exercises. So it goes both ways now.
Well, listen, if it makes the classroom more dynamic and kids are learning more, okay.
You know, I meant homework assignments. It used to be write a poem, turn it in tomorrow, and
that crosses the line when it becomes borderline plagiarism, right? And then the question is how much you're actually doing yourself. It's a step above a calculator on your math test. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, this is fun. I'm going to do this with Mario tomorrow.
Okay.
Dan, we should do this on Sunrise tomorrow for if there's no major news.
Mario, he could rhyme all day with Mario Hilario. There you go.
Yes, exactly. So this is, when you Google yourself, which we're all guilty of doing once in a while.
Well, you have to. You have to see what others are saying about you. You have to.
Yeah, it really stinks when it's not true, though, and you can't fix it because it's impossible to find a human being at Meta or Google sometimes. But when you do find them, cherish them on the back end. Wow, that was fun.
Yes, it was.
Unexpected. Send that to Diane. I want to know how she would rate that.
I will.
That was good.
Dan,
we'll have to do you next. What's this?
Mario Hilario.
Oh, here we go. Okay, take it away, Gene.
All right. In morning's hush before the day begins to chase the night away, a voice rings out both warm and true. It's Mario Hilario coming through. With coffee brewed and smiles wide, he greets the world with hometown pride. A steady guy through the storm or sun, he's there until the work is done. A beacon on the daily beat. With every story crisp and neat, he brings the news with heart and flair, a trusted face beyond compare. Now, you could see that there are common little turns of the phrase between yours and mine and Mario's.
Yes.
So it's
finding a pattern.
It's finding a pattern, but then inserting the individual. So fascinating.
A local legend.
Yep.
Real and bright. Listen, we have a long way to go with this.
Yeah.
It's wild, isn't it?
It is.
Wait, so which one do you use? I use chat.
I have, but Grok is so easy because it's on your Twitter.
Oh, I haven't used Grok. Okay. Yeah. You just press the button, right?
Press the button, you type
I use it for website design stuff now. I use it for graphic design. I use it for all kinds of stuff. I'm going to Paris, as you know, for a big birthday coming up.
Oh,
I've got chat in addition to some of my friends making an itinerary for me.
When are you going again? When is it?
Well, I don't want to publicize it.
Although I bet late, a couple months from now, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. You're gonna love it. It is the most beautiful city.
I always go to Italy
in the world.
Time to go to Paris. I know, and you have really good taste. So
it is different than London. It is different than Rome. Rome is ancient. You can still trip over the same stone Caesar tripped over because nobody fixed it. And Rome, I think I could. Rome is beauty filled.
Yeah,
you will find beauty on every street. You have to look.
Love it, love it.
Right.
Have you been to Bologna?
I have not been to Bologna. It'd be my next stop with the arcades, right?
Beautiful. Yes.
But you're like the difference between beauty filled and beautiful. Paris is beautiful to behold, just to gaze upon it, whereas Rome is beauty filled. You have to find the beauty on the street. A church that may not be outwardly inviting, if you go inside, it's magnificent. So, and
literally going through chat, just pulling together an itinerary because I want to hit the ground running.
Yeah, you're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, and you kind of put in what you like, what you don't like. You know how much I love design, so yeah, we're gonna dig in. But this is where like AI can be really great. I would not suggest AI anchors or actors, but maybe a poet here or there for fun and an itinerary for a trip to Europe.
We got to put that in our contract next. You hold a second. If you want to send me a check while I'm in Florida, great. You could use me, but we got look how fast it came.
Yeah.
Look how fast that came.
To public taste and trust.
Yeah.
That's going to be the make or break.
All right.
Well, this was fun as usual. And you were on the Cape last night. How was that? You were in Brewster.
It was great. I went to a fundraiser for our friend Luciano Canova, who owns the Trattoria restaurant group, the Torre restaurant group. I think he's got 5 or 6 of them. Great guy. Does a lot of work with special needs communities. And he was honored last night by a particular home that serves young adults on the Cape, and he supports them, and he's really a good guy. In addition to a great chef too, I love his restaurant.
All the way to the Cape.
Yep, I went to Brewster.
I know, we were joking. We were having lunch. And I'm like, wait, what's happening? You're like, I gotta go to Brewster. I'm like, when did this? They really wanted you.
It was a while ago, and I wrote, oh yeah, sure, okay. But then as it gets close, where is this? Bruce, it was 2 hours away. So, but it was nice to be on that. I don't go to the Cape often.
Good cause.
It was nice weather. Great cause. Fantastic cause.
Yeah. I love volunteering for the organizations where you're like, even when the lights aren't on, they're doing the work. So that's important. No. Great.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm back to my community work in a little bit. And
all right.
We're doing sidewalks today. I'm going to look at the sidewalks that are being put into the Cone and Thread district right now.
Okay.
Neighborhood, which you may or may not see on Saturday. We will see. But I'll see you on the news tonight, Gene.
All right. Ciao for now.
Ciao for now.